Good evening. Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa. Does anyone want to talk about that? Or would people rather talk about Manchester United in a few days' time? It's a bit weird doing one of these on my own in this kind of, I don't know, when times are like this, when I've made such a big point of going on about all games being so important and they are, and then I don't know, the contexts are different. The contexts change when they suit the point I'm trying to make. No, wait, hang on. Look, the point I'm trying to make is when we play a game like Crystal Palace like the other day, it's frustrating. I think it's very frustrating, especially for people who have paid money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to get into that whole culture war of like paying money doesn't guarantee. I get it, but come on, let's be real. But this Villa game feels like just a total inconvenience, doesn't it? Who are we going to play? I don't know. I'd say who cares, but obviously do care because I don't want us to lose any more big players. Don't want any Van der Ven, don't want any Romero. No, 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 no. Don't want them to see a second of action. But then there's that bit, then there's that creeping feeling in the back of your head that is, well, does that mean they're not going to be too sharp ahead of the final? That means they won't have played for 2 weeks. That can't be very good, is it? I don't know. Who's going to play number 10? Apparently, Sonny has been doing some drills at number 10 or whatever. Look, sources may well be trust me, bro, on that one. I don't know. Can Wilson Odebear play number 10? Apparently, he once said he could play number 10. Apparently, somebody at the club has once said he could play number 10. I don't know. Kulusevski. I love Dejan Kulusevski. Anybody that's watched this, listened to this for enough time will know that I'm a big fan of Dejan Kulusevski. I'm not really, I'll be honest, I'm not really buying into the whole sort of the drama, the fear. I'm not going to say drama. That feels like I'm kind of saying that people are being petty, and I don't think people are. I think people have legitimate concerns. I get it. Like Dejan Kulusevski is somebody that can muster a moment of magic and all that type of thing, right? He's a big game player, all that type of thing. So I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say I retract drama. But the point I do think is I'm not really buying into the kind of the panic, the fear so much. Would I rather have Dejan Kulusevski playing? Yes, of course I would. Do I think this Dejan Kulusevski back from the sort of various injuries he's had, blah, 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 blah. Do I think that is the greatest loss to Spurs? Not really. It's a shame, but like he's not been that good lately. He hasn't been that good. And I think a lot of what we're basing this on is how good we know he can be, but I don't think he's there. Well, I mean, he's definitely not now, but I don't think he's been at that place because he's gradually coming back from this. I love Dejan Kulusevski. I'm not digging him out, but he's been gradually coming back from that injury. He's been gradually getting back up to fitness. And I think he's miles off it still. So missing this version of Decky from the final, I don't know. You know, I still think it would have been a less than ideal situation. Now, who do we play there instead? It remains to be seen. I don't know. I don't know who I want to see playing in the final in that sort of position. I still look. I'm gonna go big, and I'll say it on here. I still think we're gonna win. I do. I think we're gonna win. I think we are. I think we're miles better than United. I do. I think both teams are horrible domestically this year. Um, and we can say, oh, it's only Butter Glimt, oh, it's only Frankfurt, but we came through those two ties in such an assured fashion. This filled me with a lot of confidence, and I just think we just have to look at sort of a lot of the noise around this final. A lot of it is this kind of, the sort of the United discussion is one that's this kind of this split between a sense of like them knowing that they need this, but acting like they're above it. Like so much of it is United kind of saying, well, it wouldn't really change our season if we win this, and we'll only have a barbecue if we win it. We won't do an open top bus. And they're sort of trying to play it down by saying, oh, it's just a logistical reason and stuff. But it still feels like something that they could make happen if they wanted to. And I think this is part of the Neville, Skulls, all these type sort of saying, yeah, of course, Man United are going to win this, but it doesn't really mean they've had a good season, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but doesn't it? Because the last 10 years, Manchester United have won more than most other football clubs, and they're still not happy because they still tether so much of their idea of success into the disproportionate level of success that the brilliant Alex Ferguson brought them. They were good in the what, 50s, 60s, and then they were just in the doldrums for years and years and years until Alex Ferguson came along. They were a distinctly mediocre side for quite a long time. And then Fergie came along and made them good again. But that wasn't going to last forever, was it? And instead of like appreciating all of the good things that they have and have had, they don't. They decide to keep saying, well, this club wins this club wins that. No, this club, Manchester United, won those things under Alex Ferguson, like who was a freakishly good manager, and you had a freakishly good crop of young players, class of '92, all that type of thing, right? And you managed to build yourself such a like a perch of dominance, if you like, that they could bring in whoever they wanted to for a while. Anyway, and then it all started to change when all the new money came in, Chelsea, City, all that type of thing, right? We get it, we understand it. But this idea that they're a club that they're above a Europa League, well, are they? And so, I mean, the sort of point I'm trying to get to with all of this is you can only be so standoffish about this stuff. You can only act like you're so above it for so long and sort of fail to realize the impact that is clearly having upon everyone associated with the club. Because sure, we can all look at Spurs and we can all say Spurs are going to finish 17th. Spursy, bottlers, ha ha ha, all that type of thing, right? And we get it. But it's a bigger catastrophe for Manchester United to be where they are. It just is. And this is the thing. Like, if we want to talk about the size of Manchester United and what they should be winning and why Spurs can't overcome a team like Manchester United, we should also be having the conversation that, well, if that's true, they're clearly in a worse place than Spurs this season because we're in bed together, aren't we, at the bottom of the table? And it's obviously a drastically higher fall for Manchester United from what they were to where they are now. And what does that say about a mentality? What does that say about the state of the playing staff, the club, everyone associated with it. The fact the managers had to step in to say he will personally pay for the staff at the club to go out to the final because Ratcliffe won't do it. You know, there's so much of this stuff that I just don't think it. I just don't buy it. I don't think they can sit there and act like they're above it. Have people like Gary Neville act like they're just going to turn up and win because they're called Manchester United and we're called Tottenham, but then come like sit and deride what it is that they might be winning. Because all the noise coming out of Spurs from Sonny, from Ange, from pretty much any player when they're asked is that they want to make history here. They realise that it will be history. The fact that we're putting on a screening at the stadium, the fact that we've already confirmed we will have an open top bus if we win, the fact that we've been so starved of a trophy for so long that it will be delirium, it will be pandemonium if Spurs win it. You know, as I keep saying, I've been doing this podcast for what, 11, 12 years or whatever now. Never spoken about Spurs winning anything. I just think we want it more. I think it means, yeah. And Darren has just said that to me in the comments. I think we'll win. Our players, manager, and supporters want it more. And I agree. We do. We want it way more than they do. And I also just think we're the better side. But I think there's a certain like attitude I'm seeing from a lot of our players in this competition. Porro and Romero like bashing chests. Solanke's kind of like doggedness in the Europa for the past few games. The way we really like obviously took it personally, the way Budo and everyone was speaking about us. We took it to them. You know, we weren't buying into a fairy tale narrative. None of that nonsense. I just think it's ours. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying we're going to turn up and just win it, and it's not going to be this. But I think the fight is more there from us, and I think we've got better players. Honestly, the only one of Manchester United's players that I take is Bruno Fernandes. That's it. It's the only one of their players I take. I just think we're a better side, and uh, I'm just desperate for us to win it. You know, I'm just desperate. I'd like because you know what the thing, and don't start. I'm not being negative. I'm just saying because getting to another one of there's only so many times you can sort of, and I know welcome to Tottenham and all that type of thing, but you feel like there's only so many times you can psych yourself up for these, right? FA Cups, the League Cups, Champions League, all of it down the years, all these kind of near misses. It feels like surely just one of these has to just go our way at some point, you know? And Andrew's right. Andrew's totally right in terms of people are worried Spurs are going to win it. And they are trying their sort of their best right now to devalue it. They are trying their best to belittle it and point out all the reasons why we shouldn't be happy about it if we win or our league season is terrible. Well, you're all telling us before when we were finishing third, second, fourth over and over and over again that it meant nothing because we hadn't won anything. And now we're going to win something. It's actually, oh no, we should be finishing fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. And I've just sort of arrived at this point where it's like, oh, that's it, isn't it? That's just the game. That's the game. Like that's what they're always going to do. It doesn't matter what Spurs do, good or bad. There's always going to be fault finding. That's not trying to be like a victim, but it's just It's just how it works, isn't it? But I think the thing that's undeniable is the joy that we will feel as a club, and that's players, supporters, manager, everybody associated with this club. The joy that we will all feel when we lift that trophy. It will be ridiculous. It will be unlike anything. It'll be unlike. I think it'll be unlike anything we've ever experienced. Obviously, Ajax was pretty crazy. Like Ajax was crazy. I like that whole run, that Champions League run, the emotion. When I think about the emotion of that run and like how just mad it felt all the way leading up to that final, absolutely mental. But it's been mental in a different way because the payoff of this will be massive. Because it's felt like, in some ways, it's felt like a kind of a free hit in terms of like the jeopardy of the Europa League feels less than what the high will be if we win it, if that makes sense. Like that Champions League, part of that was the fact that I think we all knew that Pochettino team was winding down. It was the start of the decline for a few of those players that we loved and we'd grown such like strong bonds and an attachment to. And so it all felt so heightened. It all felt like we really, really had to win it for them as well as for us. And obviously just the historic sort of sense of winning a European Cup, a Champions League. It's unbelievable, it's like a completion of football, isn't it? But the Europa League, it's not quite that, but it's still massive. It's still the biggest thing that Spurs have won in my lifetime by a long way. It's bigger than the FA Cup. It is. And I know people say, "Oh, don't devalue." I would love to win an FA Cup. Don't get me wrong, but winning a Europa League is bigger than an FA Cup. And having our sort of our day or our night, can't really have a night in the sunshine, can you? Let's just stick with the old metaphor: the day in the sunshine in Bilbao, turning over Manchester United, whatever incarnation of Manchester United they are, to say I saw Spurs beat Manchester United in the European final, to make it our third UEFA Cup dash Europa League. Yeah, we do have heritage in this competition. And so let's flip the narrative. Let's flip the narrative from like, oh, Man United do this, Man United. Well, Spurs do this. Spurs have history in this. We win cups. We were once called the Cup Kings, like FA Cup after FA Cup after FA Cup. Plenty of league cups as well. I think we've got 4 or 5 league cups as well. 2, soon to be 3 UEFA Cup dash Europa Leagues. It's massive. I don't know, like, I can't really qualify this with anything other than just a sort of gut feeling. But I just have a feeling that Richarlison is going to be important in this final. I mean, he's important just by sheer matter of the fact that Son isn't really fully fit. We don't have Kulusevski. We don't know like where Tell is at or anything like that now. Although I do think Tell will still be important in this game. But I just feel like Richarlison has got a big moment in him. And I've dug him out plenty on here, and I know fully well all of his weaknesses. And yes, I know he should be doing better and all this type of thing. But I still feel like he has a big moment in him. We saw it in Everton's relegation scrap. We know he's a player that can kind of dig in, dig deep, really grind out something ugly. And I don't know. I've just got a feeling that I can see him scoring a big goal in this game. Porro is going to be very important. Van der Ven, Romero. I just think the desire. I think the hunger is going to be there from Spurs, and I can't wait to see the compilations. Again, as much as I've dug him out, I can't wait to see the compilations, which will all start with Ange Postecoglou saying, "Let me correct myself. I always win something in my second season." Like that will be mad. It's the maddest. It will be the maddest delivery and maddest kind of like arc that I think I've seen in football in such a long time. Because yeah, I mean it's mad. It's mad that we're in this position. I can't quite believe it. I'm going to speak on Monday. I'm going to speak to my old pal Scott Saunders, who is a Manchester United fan, journalist, podcaster, all that type of thing. So we're going to do a little preview on that one as well. But you know, there's just a lot. There's a lot to process, and there's a lot that's unclear. But what is clear to me is this feeling that we're gonna do them. Um, let's talk a little bit about Aston Villa, I guess, because whatever, it is a game tomorrow, and I should preview it. We moved it, and obviously that's led to loads of Aston Villa fans having a meltdown. But whatever, I can't really be asked to get into that. They have their own team's interests at heart, and whatever, it's a bit of a kind of inferiority complex thing, isn't it? Chip on the shoulder about Spurs being considered part of the big six, and should Villa be part of the big six now, and all that type of thing. Um, whatever, So Ange was asked about Kulusevski's injury. He said, disappointing news. Initially, we thought it wasn't too serious. The medical team were worried structurally about how the knee was. It blew up the day after, and we knew there was an issue there. He had surgery, and it will put him out for at least a few months. If he'll be fit for the start of next season, we'll see. To be honest, I only got basic information at the moment. Blah 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 blah. It's going to put him out for a while, which yeah, is obviously. I mean, everyone's doing that meme at the moment, aren't they? About when Ange tells you that something's not too bad, you're going to die the next day, and all that sort of thing. Um, Another injury in the attacking midfield area of the pitch. He just says it's reflective and consistent with everything that's happened this season. I've said a few times we just haven't had a smooth run of things. Every time we look like getting to a place where we're in good shape, squad wise, invariably we've been hit. Beg your pardon. The last few weeks, again, it's just circumstance that it happened in the one area of the park. So a lot of people have been speculating about Lucas Bergval making a recovery from injury in time for the final. Um, he said no, it's still the same sort of time frame. It was never a long-term one, but he has literally just gotten out of the boot and taken his first tentative steps. He won't be available. And I think he's been I don't really think there's any kind of double speak going on there or anything. I think he's saying it like it is. That's one thing you can say about Ange Postecoglou. He says it like it is. Um, he was asked about the integrity of the Premier League campaign as we face Villa. He said, we're certainly going to go out there to try win the game, put a team that hopefully gets the job done. I'm not sure about the integrity. There have been times this year when we fielded weakened teams because of injury. Does that infect integrity? Affect integrity? People are thinking there is some sort of competitive balance that exists that doesn't exist over the course of the season. I would be very surprised if people were questioning our integrity. He's getting his back up again, isn't it? I get what he means. But I mean, he did say the other week, didn't he, that he did say, didn't he, like when he was asked after the whatever games, he was asked after the Palace game why the Premier League season's been so bad. And he was just kind of being all sarky, being like, "Do you need me to spell it out for you?" Which is essentially, I think we all took as him saying it's because we're in the cup competitions. And that's what we've been going for, right? I don't know. What do you want to see from the players at Villa Park? We understand the challenging situation we're in. Blah 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 blah. I thought the group could have performed better on the day against Palace, collectively and individually. The challenge is to the players to seize the opportunity that's before them. There is a game tomorrow where we obviously want to try and perform well, blah, 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 blah. It's just sort of fine. I don't take any umbrage with what he's saying. It's just kind of, straightforward. A lot of people are sort of talking about the A team, B team thing. That it's kind of, there's shades of Nuno Espirito Santo there where he was effectively playing A teams and B teams, and how does it keep the rest of the team motivated? And I I don't know how much I bought it then, and I still don't buy it now. Just in the respect that if you are highly paid professional and you have some personal pride, professional pride, you're competitive, you want to win at all costs, blah blah blah, then surely it's your opportunity when you do get chance on the pitch to say, well, I'm going to give him a selection headache. I'm going to make it so I'm going to play so well that he will consider me for the final in Bilbao because I can be a curveball. I don't know. I don't really buy it as, and I think there are plenty of sticks to beat Ange Postecoglou with, don't get me wrong, but I don't really buy this one as a stick to beat him with. And I think it's fair enough what he's been doing. He was asked if the injuries have affected morale. Uh, he just said that it's happened all season, so the players are sort of used to it. He's asked about Sonny's fitness. He'll definitely play tomorrow. Whether we start him or not, we'll have a look. But he reacted well to playing the other day. No issues with his foot. He's trained well. Makes sense for him to get some minutes. It could be as a starter, and if not, he'll definitely play at least a half tomorrow. He was also asked about Josh Keeley and Jamie Donnelly. They've obviously gotten Leyton Orient to Wembley for a League One playoff. He said, I watched the game last night, cracking, super pleased with both of them. You know, when players go on loan, obviously the key is them to get match minutes and development. I think both of those guys have. It's so mad, man. Like, because Jamie Donnelly like he actually looks quality. I know League One is a step down, but he not just the goal he scored against Man City, but he played really well in that game. And this Josh Keeley lad, I've not watched Orient. I'll probably watch the playoff final. But from what I understand, this Keeley lad is legit. He's unbelievable. And what the last goalkeeper we've had come through the academy is Ian Walker, right? Like, keepers just don't really get an opportunity, do they? I mean, again, I understand that it's League One, but I do. He's very young, isn't he, Josh Keeley? Josh Keeley. Shall I see? Yeah, he's 21 years old. I mean, hopefully he is class, because I think he's set all manner of records at Orient, so we'll see. He was asked about Timo Werner's absence. He's had a hamstring injury. He was asked if he was gutted for Decky. He said, yes, I'm gutted for him, Lucas, Madders, and Radu. All four of those. Knock on wood because we've had enough. It's not a muscle injury or anything. It's circumstance. Stuff that happens in every football game, but it doesn't have to damage it, blah, 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 blah. I thought there was real growth in Decky this year. We integrated him into a new position, which I think he was really getting to grips with and making an impact. He's grown as a player, captained his country, then got hit with a foot injury, which has set him back. Typical of him, he's worked hard at rehab. Um, blah blah blah. He's saying it could be a catalyst for him to come back stronger. He can't put a time frame on how long it'll be. He's saying fair to say months. I mean, it does worry me. Months. He's saying it's not going to be 12 months, but I can't put a time frame on it. Months. Asked if he'll be protecting players at Villa. We got training today. It's a bit of a balancing act. We obviously tried to navigate that last week by protecting a few, which we had to, and it still didn't work out. We still lost a player. So I'll take all that into consideration over the next few hours. Villa have a few players out as well. Jacob Ramsey's out. Tielemans is apparently struggling, likely to be out. Marcus Rashford is out as well, which is interesting. Head to head, Villa have won 4 of their last 6 4 of their past 6 league and cup meetings with Tottenham, including a 2-1 FA Cup triumph at Villa Park in February. However, Spurs have won the past 2 league meetings by an aggregate score of 8-1. The Lily that was well random when we did them last year at Villa Park. Battered them. The Lily Whites have 8 wins from their previous 9 Premier League visits to Villa Park, losing the other. Villa are unbeaten at home in 20 games across all competitions, winning 14 and drawing 6, their longest run for 48 years. That's mad. They've won 7 successive games at Villa Park in all competitions, scoring 17 goals during that spell. Villa are seeking their 32nd win in all competitions in this campaign, which would set a new club record for a top flight season. Unai Emery is set to take charge of his 100th Premier League game as Villa manager. He's won 53, drawn 21, and lost 25 of his previous 99 matches, with his side scoring out. Blah, 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 whatever, don't care about that. Ollie Watkins scored his 75th Premier League goal for Aston Villa last time, overtaking Gabriel Abonglahors to become the club's highest goal scorer in the competition. Tin pot. Sorry, Villa. That is bobbins. You can't be coming at Spurs with why are Spurs still in the top 6 conversation and we're not. We're an ever present. You're not an ever present. You've been relegated what, twice, 2, 3 times now? Your top scorer in the competition's got 75 goals. Pretty sure we got a few on more. Tottenham Premier League goal scorers. So look at this. Tottenham's Premier League goal scorers: 213 goals, Harry Kane; 127 goals, Son Heung-min; 97 goals, Teddy Sheringham; 91 goals, Robbie Keane; 91 goals, Jermaine Defoe. Then even look, drop down a little bit: 53 Bale, 51 Ericsson, 51 Ali. 48 Armstrong. That's mad that Dele Alli scored. I know he wasn't that good, but like Stefan Everson played up front for us for years. At least what felt like years. And he was a striker. In fact, Dele Alli outscored Stefan. It's not, if you watch Stefan Everson, it's not that much of a surprise, to be honest. But anyway, so that's 5 players we've got who've scored more goals than 75 goals. Bobbins. Absolutely bobbins. 3 of Ollie Watkins' goals have come against Tottenham Hotspur, but none of those have been at Villa Park. Um, some interesting facts about Tottenham. Tottenham have lost 7 of their last 10 Premier League games, with their only win in that run coming against bottom side Southampton in April. Bottom. Defeat for Spurs would be their 25th in all competitions this season, equaling the club record for a single campaign, which was set in 1991-1992. Ange Postecoglou's side are one of 4 top-flight teams to lose 10 or more league games in 2025. The other 3 sides, you guessed it, they've all been relegated. Spurs have conceded in each of their last 11 league games, their longest spell without a clean sheet since a run of 17 between August and December 2010. However, Tottenham have won their final away game in each of the last beg your pardon, 4 Premier League seasons, scoring an average of 4 goals per victory. Solanke has bagged 4 goals in his last 3 top-flight games against Aston Villa, scoring 2 with Bournemouth last season and 2 for Spurs in this campaign. The thing is, as soon as the whistle blows, the cockerel crows, I will be wanting Tottenham to beat Aston Villa. Is this a higher priority than Spurs coming through this game unscathed and having, what is available to us now still available to us for the final? No. But it would be nice to win. And it would be nice to have a bit of confidence. Do you know what the thing is? As much as we sort of say it's not important, it's not this, it's not that. I bet you all the people that say it's not important, that the league doesn't matter, that it's just a throwaway, will be saying, if we beat Aston Villa, well, that's good. That's a confidence boost ahead of the final. So it doesn't matter. If we get tonked 5-0 by Villa ahead of a cup final, it's not good, is it? Don't know why I'm going all Jeremy Clarkson. That's not good, is it? Bleh. I've got a farm. I don't want to pay anything for it. I just want to make Amazon television programs. Come on, Tottenham. Just in general, come on, you Spurs. Please. Please. You know, please. The closer it gets, because the funny thing is, right, Buda Glimt was not, as I've said already, was not a hype semi-final, right? It's good to get through it, good to be in the final, but it was not hype, right? You beat Leon or someone like that in the semi-final to get to a final. That's kind of mad. Like, think about the Marseille game, a Højbjerg winner in Marseille. You beat a team like that in a semi-final going into a final, then you're pumped. Dispatching a championship at best side in Buda Glimt, it's kind of like, oh, right, we're in a final actually. And it's kind of taking a bit of time to sink it. Like, obviously, like the concept of a final is great and it's a good thing and it's exciting. But I'm talking about like the emotional beats of that, the emotional kind of weighting of that has taken a bit of time to catch up with me anyway. And I'd say it's like the past couple of days when it is suddenly like, this is happening now. Like, this is actually happening. Like, a lot of people are just talking about this, like TalkSport, 5 Live, Sky, everyone. Basically, everybody's talking about Tottenham against Manchester United, which is upcoming. It's big. But it's a year for a lot of hoodoos coming to an end. Harry Kane has won a trophy. Bologna have won a trophy. Crystal Palace in a final. Maybe they'll do it. Who else did something? Hamburg came up. They ended like some freakish run of not getting promoted. Aldershot Town, 99 years, 99 years an appearance at Wembley, and they've been a decent outfit at points in the past. But 99 years a trip to Wembley has evaded Aldershot Town, and they took it to the final, the FA Trophy, and they won it. Their first day out at Wembley, they've won their first major within context trophy. Imagine the head spinning if both Harry Kane and Tottenham Hotspur won a trophy in the same season. And do you know what? There's something really quite. I get it. I know a lot of you don't care for Harry Kane anymore, but I do. I was happy for him, and I'm going to give a shout out to Andy at this point. Bumped into a lad called Andy who was out on a nice walk on the weekend in the Alice Holt Forest. If anyone's ever gone there, beautiful. It's lovely. You should go have a little wander. Take the kids there. It's very nice. I was walking along, and he just said, "Excuse me," and I thought, because this is an interesting story. Honestly, I had a coffee, right, and the cafe is closed down, but there was like a temporary one of those big double decker buses that makes coffee was there. And they'd called in like one of these companies that drives around and makes coffee for people out of a double decker bus to be parked up there whilst they renovate the cafe. And I thought he was going to say to me, "Where did you get that coffee from?" But he actually said, "Are you that guy that does Tottenham podcasts?" And you're kind of like, there's a part of you that's like, now he's either going to say, "Nice one, I like those," or "You're a mug, you're a melt, I don't like your opinions." Thankfully, it was the former. He said, "Oh, Jack, the Tottenham podcast guy." It's like, "Yeah, how you doing?" Then we had a good chat for a while, and I make this point sort of as a humble brag, look at me getting recognised and all that, right? And also as a way of saying, "Hello, Andy. I told you I'd give you a shout out," but also because he did say to me, "I don't know why you're so happy for Harry Kane. Like, I don't. He left us. He tried to sort of get out when we were, when he was really good and everything and whatever." But I do care for Harry Kane, and I think it would be nice that we've won something in the same season as him. I think he'll be watching it, and he should be egging us on. I wonder if he'll go. I wouldn't be surprised to see him turn up for the final. To be honest, I wouldn't. I'm not saying he will, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's there in the stands. I'd love it if there were a few of the old faces. If there was a Jan Vertonghen there, or you know, Moussa Dembele or somebody like. It'd be nice. Oh yeah, Simo said Newcastle as well. Newcastle got a trophy over the line, didn't they? 70 years. And that was some nonsense that Neville was going on about as well the other day, when the point was made to him that, like, well, you say Spurs never win trophies, but Newcastle did this year and they haven't won anything for 70 years. He said something about like, oh, the state of the club, and Newcastle are a club that's prepared to win trophies. Shut up. Like, shut up. Um, Please, Tottenham. Please. Just do it. Do it for all of us. Doesn't matter, Ange in, Ange out, Levy in, Levy out. Don't care. Just forget all that noise. Just come on, you Spurs, you know? Up the Spurs. Please. Please. I'm not gonna sit here and say please anymore. I'm just gonna say thank you everybody for watching or listening. I'll do a pod after the Villa game as per usual, unless it's, unless it's just a drab, dire game like I just couldn't bring myself to after that Palace game because I was like, what am I gonna talk about here? I've got nothing positive to say. And we've got the Europa League coming up, so let's just keep the powder dry. But if the Villa game's all right, then I'll do one. If not, then I won't. But anyway, thanks everybody for supporting the show. Much love. Up the Spurs. Let's do it. Come on.